Hey guys, hope you guys are having an amazing day so far. Your boy is back with another subreddit video, and today we're diving into r/bad women's anatomy. For those of you guys that don't know, this subreddit is full of terribly ignorant takes on women's anatomy, and it's always a fun time reading these preposterous takes that some people have. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell. We do this every single day. Hit the like, comment section. You guys know the deal. Also hit the, if you guys want to support the channel further, there's a Patreon, first link in the description box, where you'll get daily exclusive content, 10 to 20 minutes of footage every single day. Also, thank you to all the deluxe members. And with that being said, let's get into the video. Oh, and for those of you guys that can tell, the setup is different today. This is gonna be the temporary setup for the week as I slowly transition to the new PC. I finally finished building my PC. And so you guys can expect in probably June or July, we're gonna start doing live streams of these Reddit reads. And then also I'm gonna add commentary / video essay content to my channel as well. Maybe even some vlogs here and there. We're gonna be just dumping content because I love creating for you guys. So, hey, here we are. But yeah, with that being said, let's go into bad women's anatomy. Let's see what's popping today. A lot of the stuff here is NSFW, so I'm gonna go ahead and blur it just in case, and then I'll gauge it from there. So first one up, we got, I think I can unblur this. Yeah, I think I can. All right, so the title of this one says, male coworker told me a fact he learned recently. All right, let's see what's up. So the male worker, oh wait, hold up. The story goes, okay, so just to clarify, I work in an auto shop that's 90% men. Here we go. This isn't the first time that I've had a guy pop off with some kind of misinformation about a woman's anatomy or how a woman's body works. I can only imagine working in a tire shop and how those guys perceive women's anatomy. So this coworker and I am friends with told me that he watched a video that said every woman who has had coitus with multiple men carries their DNA with her for years and years. Brother, what? Dude, what? First off, before we even dissect how silly that is, if that's the case, wouldn't it be the same thing for men too? Like, wouldn't you carry all the women? It obviously is 100% not a real thing, but I'm saying, like, it's not just women that would do that if that was ever a thing. And when she gets pregnant by one, all the others men's DNA is also found within the child. Okay, who taught this guy this? Because, like, where did you hear this, like, red pill nonsense? This is crazy. It's insane to me that people just don't, like, go online and search up, like, through a actual credible website or, you know, medical website and just not learn this. This is like basic. This is 101. If you carry all the DNA of all the people you got with, your kid would just not be like at all looking like you or your partner. It would just look like a mess of everyone, right? That is a crazy take. I would wonder how my kid would look if that was the case. Like, they would look like a Ben 10 alien with all the pieces mixed together. Not just playing, but all right. I asked him where he got his information and he couldn't recall, but he swears that it is true and scientifically proven. Oh yeah, but from who? Where did you get your information from, Andrew Tate? To me, this just sounds like purity culture BS being spun to sound specific. Are there any good resources I can reference? Literally anything online you can reference. Also, it is insane to me that these guys will say things like this, or women, whoever, say things like this, but only see it as one side. Like, if this was really the case, wouldn't all guys carry all the women's DNA as well? That would make literally every human being ever question who they are. Like, who am I getting all my DNA from? I'm gonna read some of the comments, blur it just in case. This BS is usually a misinterpretation of how do I pronounce that? Microchimerism? Chimeris. A phenomenon where a child's DNA is left in the mother after pregnancy. But coitus doesn't, or cuddling doesn't involve any gene transfer whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, that's given. If that was actually the case, you know how many people would not have, like, cuddle sessions? Like, you know? Or how many less, I would say. There'd still be a lot, but whoa, okay. This one's gotta be blurred. It's misogynistic to not send melon pictures, apparently. So that's the caption, or the subject of this one. We have a long text message here sent by, I'm assuming, a dude. Could be a girl, but probably a dude. And he says, You being ashamed to send me melon pics is misogynistic. What an Uno reverse card. He's pulling out anything and everything just to get melon pics. That's crazy. You guys know what melon pics are, by the way. If you were really a feminist, you would be comfortable showing us your body. Brother, what in the... Dude, that is gaslighting reverse 101 Uno fucking... That is so silly. You would be comfortable showing us your body. Breasts or chicken breasts, you know, are not sexual body parts. Yeah, they are. I mean, not everywhere in the world, but for like American society, yes, they are. What are you talking about? Unless it's art or something like that. But even then, it's a little tricky too. What is he on? And then he continues and says, there's something everyone has. Okay. Don't let your, well, so are PPs and privates, right? Don't let your internal misogyny stop you from sending pics. Melons are melons, and you need to learn a thing or two about feminism. Brother, what is this guy on? He sounds like a 15-year-old child that is trying to get, you know, pics for the first time of his life. Like, he's just doing anything and everything it takes. All right, I'm gonna read the comments. Bold strategy. Gonna guess he won't see many results from it though. Yeah, same. It reminds me of that dodgeball scene by Jason Bateman. He's like, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Reminds me of an ex who told me I was abusive for not sending him pics of my breasts. I was also obviously cheating and sending them to someone else. Oh, and that I was neglecting our emotional connection by not sending. That's crazy. Some guys will do whatever it takes, huh? All right, this one sounds silly. The subject says, you got hair on your hands? Yeah, dude, everybody has hair on their hands except me for some reason. I have like very minimal hair overall. I have a little bit of hair on my like knuckles, but that's about it. Yes, and I was sat next to a boy in school. The teacher had sat us in alphabetical order, so it was not by choice. He was 9 years old. So, oh wait, no, it was year 9. So we have been 13 to 14 years old. Okay. He asked, you got hair on your hands? Me looking confused. Look, turn your hand into the light. You got hair on your hands too. Me, baffled looking at my hand. Oh wait, no, he said that. Look, turn your hand into the light. You've got hair on your hands. So he's telling her that. And then she is baffled looking at her hand. What was your point, Jeremy? Of course I have hair. I'm a human being. There's not even that much hair on the back of my hands. Just short, sparse, blonde ones. Make it make sense, Jeremy. One of those times I wish I could go back to with my current confidence. I had no idea what to say at the time. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough age. 13, 14, people are just gonna try to make fun of you for anything. I remember being 13 and 14 and getting bullied for the fact that I was like not cut, if you guys get my drift. Like, that's just such a silly thing back in the day. All right, Jeremy, I'm a effing mammal. That's one of the comments. One person said, oh yeah, always fun to deal with. The first time I was ever bullied was by a kid who called me a mustache girl in the 5th grade because of the regular amount of upper lip hair I had. Damn, that sucks. Imagine getting bullied for that. I was so scared about talking to the guidance counselor about it because I didn't want to tell her that, then have a confrontation with that bully and it makes everything worse. But eventually I did, and we both had to come to the office. Guidance counselor turned into full auntie, came in hot. She was like, why won't you leave that little girl alone? Everybody got hair above their lip. You got hair above your lip. I got hair above my lip. You want to say something to me? Damn, that's a badass guidance counselor. Shake my head. This was in 2007, but some things won't change, I guess. Always sucks to think how much you tolerated it back then and you wouldn't tolerate now. Yeah, I mean, dude, bullying is, you know, it's a worldwide phenomenon, no matter where you are. Obviously, we wish that it would go away, but, you know, looking back at it, like, I genuinely hope no one gets, like, bullied too bad. I'm not going to say that I encourage it at all, but, like, the bullying that I got definitely created thicker skin and created my sense of humor. Although I will say, like, some of the bullying I've seen, it depends on the type of person you are, because I've seen some people like do some shit when I was like young, like 5th, 6th grade, and I'll see other people get bullied and I'm like, damn, like that, some of the stuff is just messed up, even the stuff you see online. All right, this one sounds funny. It says, hold it. That's the subject. Had to share this hilarious story of when my dad, who was in his 50s at the time, had a wife and 2 teenage daughters and grew up with 4 sisters, said the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Damn, he has just all girls around him. He had no brothers or sons. His home life had always been surrounded by women. That's literally me, actually. I mean, I have my dad, but that's about it. Once at a beach house on family vacation, one of his sisters told him a story with part of the humor being her getting her period at a very unfortunate time. All the women in the room laughed and showed sympathy. My father smugly scoffed and goes, "Ha, why didn't you just hold it in? Like having to pee?" What do you mean? I don't think women could choose to hold like blood, you know? As if he just had just simply solved the problem no women since the dawn of time had ever thought of. He was rightfully ridiculed, LAO. 70s S-Ed clearly was not very helpful. Yeah, I mean, this was like one of those times where it is clearly bad women's anatomy, not how girls work and all that. But like, dude was just clueless. He was just truly ignorant towards it. I mean, it's kind of crazy that he grew up with all girls and didn't know like that. I don't know. I don't think I ever questioned if women could hold it. It was just one of those things where I'm like, oh yeah, it doesn't make sense that you could. It's just like some gushers. That was really gross. I'm sorry. Someone commented saying, I've spoken about being told to hold in my cycle before. And some guy told me I was being an attention seeker and making it up because no guy would seriously think that. What? But it's clearly such a common misconception if I've heard it. My girlfriends have heard it. You've heard it. Dude, that's crazy. Like, guys, if you're listening to this, women can't hold that. They can hold pee, but it's also, to hold pee is already unhealthy. Imagine if you had the ability to hold that. That would be even worse. Like, talk about a blood clot. What the hell is this? So this one's caption says, you can't climax, you know, like in a story, if you've been with multiple people, or specifically men. So this girl on Facebook posted and said, imagine if a woman had to finish in order to get pregnant by a man. There would be like 11 people in the world. That's pretty funny because, you know, this is some education for the dudes out there. Majority of guys have not made a girl because, like, you know, finish. Some guys do, and some guys have the ability to, but a lot of times, like, guys will do that, but not realize that it's a lot harder for women than guys. Guys, it's just like, oh, all right, finished. But for women, you gotta like actually attend to them. And also, women's anatomy is much different than guys. There's different sensations in different various people too. Some people are more sensitive than others, and that also dictates, you know, if they can easily or not. And then some people fake it too, and like that's a whole nother like thing that you gotta dive into. But anyways, yeah, so if you think that you're doing it, you could be actually doing it, but not always. It's a conversation you have with your partner. All right, so someone in the comments of this said, laughing face, laughing face, laughing face. It's kind of, and it's a guy, it's kind of hard to finish when you've been with multiple people or multiple men. In order to achieve that, you would have to have a bond with just one. Nope, that's not how it works. Instead, you went on a carousel ride. Now you can't bond with anyone because emotionally you've been attached to everyone. That is so stupid. Now, I will say there is merit in the fact that if you do have a bond with someone, it's usually a little bit easier. From what I've heard from my women friends, and also even for me. Well, I wouldn't say it's easier for me as a guy, but it feels better. But that part is true. Now, the next part of like the amount of people you've been with does not dictate. Actually, I would counter argument. The more people that you've been with, not saying that you should get with more people, but the more people you have been with, more than likely, or the more, I'm gonna say the more times you've done it, even if it's with one person, your partner, the more times you've done it, the more experience you have, thus meaning that you're more than likely knowing what you like and what you don't like. That's like with anything, right? Like, you can't just go into RuneScape and cut yew tree, bro. You got to get to level 60 on woodcutting, like in order to get that experience. You know what I'm saying? That was a little nerdy one for the other ones out there. But yeah, so like, yeah, that's silly. Also, like doing it multiple times with one person is kind of in the same way similar to doing it one time with multiple people, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. The logic in these guys are flawed. But a lot of them, you know, the red pillars, they want to say these things because they don't like the idea of women having the autonomy of being with multiple people. But most guys, not all, most guys will say, or some guys, I'm gonna say, will be okay with them being with multiple people, which that's the crazy take. It's one thing if, in my opinion, if you genuinely view everyone should be, or you and your partner, not everyone, you and your partner should both be abstinent or both be with less people, like overall. That's a preference. Like, you personally haven't been with a lot of people, so you want someone that is like that. That's fine. I mean, I don't have any problems with that. Am I like that? No, I don't really give a crap about someone's past, but I could at least make sense of that. However, these guys that are saying like, I can be with whoever I want, but women, tainted. That's crazy to me. All right, let's read these comments. So which is it? Women have lower drives than men, or are we too hyper, you know, sexual that they go on the clock carousel with chat? Yeah, you can't ever have it. Some guys will just not let women win at all, and that's just the silliness of this. All right, let's see if I can unblur this. Yeah, I probably can't unblur this, but the title of this one says, "Tell me you've never met a woman IRL without telling me." All right, we are in Sweden, okay, or somewhere Nordic. The guy's name is Far, and then also like the location seems Nordic. But anyways, he sends what seems to be a post on Reddit or something. Oh no, a comment. This looks like a YouTube comment. He says, "Sorry, but any man who says they don't care about whether a girl has a flat stomach or not is lying. They absolutely care. And before any angry feminists tried to attack me," oh my God. Sorry, I read ahead just to see if I can unblur it, and some of the stuff he's going to say is insane. All right, here we go. "And before any of the angry feminists tried to attack me, don't even bother. Wanting a girl with a flat stomach doesn't make us bad or superficial." Well, it does make you superficial. I'm not saying it makes you bad, but in like the actual definition of superficial would be that, right? Like, it's completely fine to have preferences, but if you actually look at the full definition of superficial, it says existing or concurring or on the surface, meaning that you want something surface level, like external, and someone's looks is that. I'm not saying it's bad to be superficial, because I'm superficial as fuck when it comes to dating. Like, I do care about looks and personality, but I do care about looks a lot. So like, that's fine, but to say that you're not being superficial is silly. Anyways, also, this guy is insane. Not all guys want flat stomach. I have genuinely met dudes. I know some really close friends of mine that 1,000,000%, not all, I'm gonna say majority of my friends prefer like healthier look, like well, not healthier, that's the wrong term. Healthier / fitter women. But I have like probably like, I'm gonna throw a ballpark number, like 30% of my guy friends that like thick women. And I'm talking exclusively thick. Like, they will not date someone that's not thick. I'm serious. And this guy's Far might be like, no way, I don't believe that. But there's a thing, trust me, called preferences. And everybody's got different ones of them, you know? Not everyone's gonna be like you, dude. Anyway, so let me continue what he said. "It's just evolution." Okay, brother. It's not like we can help it. That's also false, because if it was evolution, wouldn't someone with wide hips be the most sought after of all time? And typically, you know, it's not like we can help it. If a girl has that bump on her stomach, it's a dead giveaway that she has lost her V. And even what? And even if some guys nowadays try to deny it, a untainted female has always and always will be the ideal mate for a man. 1,000,000% no. Like what? You're saying that all guys would always prefer a woman that has never like dated or cuddled? That's an insane take. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this guy is 1,000,000% wrong, because I prefer the latter. I actually almost exclusively prefer the latter. I cannot handle the pressure of being with someone that has never been with anyone. Like, that's just a lot. And like, I I can't, like, no, it's not for me. I'm not saying that I prefer someone on the complete latter end, but I would prefer someone with some experience. Like, what are you talking about, brother? Also, the bump on her stomach does not give away that. I know some skinny women that are not V's, and then I know vice versa. I know some V's that have bumps on their stomach because, I don't know, they like food. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, I like food too. I would say the bump on your stomach dictates like genetics, your lifestyle habits, health, like your diet, fitness and stuff like that. But you cannot say it dictates anything about cuddling, bro. What are you talking about? This dude is the idiot of the day, man. Let's see what else he says. That little bump is their uterus showing? No, it's not. What are you, who are you getting this information from? It seems like he's talking out of his booty hole. And it appears when a man concludes inside her flower, because when the, I'm going to say, you know, male swimmers enters her uterus, it will swell so much that it becomes visible though, or visible through the skin. Well, okay. So first off, that is all misinformation. Like, every single bit of what he just said was insanely inaccurate. But I'm gonna say, even if that was somehow miraculously the case, right? How would you explain protection then? Because he's claiming that the swimmers entering is what makes them swell. But that doesn't make sense because so many use protection. And does that make a difference then all of a sudden? Take it from someone who's taken his fair share of V cards over the years. Ew, brother, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's disgusting. That's not, I mean, okay, I'm not gonna say it's disgusting, but it's suspicious. It's very suspicious to be proud of that. That's disgusting, dude. Well, I keep saying disgusting. I'm not gonna say it's disgusting because it's not disgusting to be a V, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. But it is a little suspicious and weird to be praising the fact that you have taken achievement in taking many people's. Like, that's weird, dude. And he says, lol. Non-flat stomachs are only ever hot if you're the reason they aren't flat anymore. Oh my God. This guy is the worst. Sved, what's his name? Svar. You Viking mofo, bro. What are you talking about? And then the last thing he says is not including pregnancy because pregnant bellies, frankly, look gross. What the hell did I just read, guys? Oh my goodness gracious. And that post was originally on Not How Girls Work. Wow. This is what I'm talking about when we do these videos. We find some dumb mofos in here. Someone literally said, I can't believe how dumb enough people are in this world and believe this about women. It's so sad. Yeah. Take it from someone who's taken his fair share of these over the years, lol. This is either rage bait or he has a cognitive impairment. All right, let's read some more. All right, we got, how do people even get this idea? It's genuinely mind-boggling. And we have someone's post who said, Buddy really wifed up the most famous corn on the cob star of all time. What a pathetic excuse for a man. And it's a picture of this dude who... is married to Riley Reid. Don't ask me why. I know her name. Anyways, and it's their baby. And they actually look really adorable. I mean, good for them. And then they have a picture of her next to it. That is not a good picture to put next to a picture of her and her family. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Anyways, someone comments on that and says, man has a multi-million-dollar wife, baby, and is getting professional grade tabletop on a daily basis. I bet he's doing just fine. See, my take on this is people are going to say whatever about you. If whatever past and stuff that you have, everybody's judgy, right? I'm going to say it is 100% okay for people in industry and like any industry, right? To find love. Like, why would it all of a sudden, just because they did something, they're not deemed to love or like to have a family or something? Like, that's an insane take. Now, if you yourself don't want to date someone like that, that's your own preference and that's completely fine. Like me personally, I don't think I could. I don't think I could ever date somebody that's not in that type of industry. Now, if it's like something a little bit lighter, I don't really care about, but like that's a little bit extreme for me, but that's fine. I'm not going to judge someone else for it. They actually look really cute together and they have an adorable baby and I hope them the best, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. Who cares? Also, there's like people out there that are literal cucks. So like, what if this guy is one? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, you can't kink shame out here, dude. Yeah. To each their own though. Well, and then someone else says on their comments that says, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. He says, problem is that's not his baby. That baby is made up of the DNA. Oh my God. It's one of these guys again, of every person that's ever. Yeah. That's not how it works. That's literally not how girls work. Bad Women's Anatomy. Like, dude, study like anything. Just Google. All right. We're going to do one more before we go. And unless you're a Patreon member, if you're a Patreon member, we're going to read a couple more. What the hell is this one? Okay, this one sounds crazy. So this guy says, I'm a nice guy, r/nice guys. Women tend to bleed around me. What are you even talking about? So he says, men and its causes. And then someone says, hey, I'm a dude in his early 20s, and I still want to say that I'm a very secure person. That's a weird thing to say. Meaning that people usually feel very safe around me, or so I'd like to think anyways. Dude, anybody who says that seems like it's the latter. Now for the question. Every girl I've ever had romantic interest in and who has cuddled with me over at my place has gotten their time of the month the same evening/night. It's like good luck, Chuck, but for menstrual cycles. Just the first night/evening they have slept over. And no, they haven't just said it because they don't want to have cuddling. Oh, like, no, they didn't just say it just because they didn't want to cuddle, but because they've soiled all over the bed. We'll say that. As I said, could this be because they just feel so safe? Okay, you know what? This is a little bit better because at least he's not just like, it just sounds like he's completely ignorant towards the topic. Of course, I've Googled it, but I haven't found anything. I wonder why. And everyone knows that menstrual cycles can be delayed depending on stress, etc. And then it should be the opposite, that it can come because this stress or whatever, it may go away. This has happened 4 to 5 times with all different women. Yeah, but 4 to 5 times is not enough to speculate this, in my opinion. That could just be like a crazy coincidence, but like 4 to 5 times, that's happened to me 4 to 5 times. Like, that's not enough for me to speculate that all women are like that. Like, that's not at all. But I mean, this one's just funny. Like, this one's not like so much like bad as it is just this guy's clueless. I'm going to read the comments though. That is not how it works, by the way, guys. Yeah, it could be coincidence more than anything. I use mine as a cloud to obscure my escape like a inking squid. That's so funny. I'm upvoting that. That's so funny. Oh, that's really funny. Does he think he gives off an aura of menstruation? That would be a curse, right? Wouldn't girls not want to hang out with you? Like, if you actually had that superpower, right? Where every girl the cycle just comes. They wouldn't want to hang out with you because they know, well, unless they're like really want to get it, or unless they had a pregnancy scare. I guess that's the case. So I guess there's two sides of it. What a wild Marvel power to have. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, stay tuned, guys, because soon enough, June rolls around. We're going to start streaming live. I have this PC set up. We're going to start it rolling, dude. I'm so excited to get everything moved over to here. It's probably going to take me a week to start filming off of the new setup, but super stoked. And yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you guys are a Patreon member, I'll see you guys there. We're going to do an extra 10 minutes of content there. And yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys tomorrow's video. Bye.